Axl Rose / Steven Adler.
Oh my God. Okay.
Duff McKagan.
McKagan. Yeah.
Hang on.
If you can keep going, I'd be impressed. Because that's it.
Did I say Slash?
Yeah.
Oh, I did.
That was second. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, you said Slash.
No, I mean, are you sure there were only 4 members?
No, there's like 6. I mean, actually, at this point now, there's 50.
Oh, GNR trivia.
Okay. Hey, it's Brian Quain of Reason to Believe. I was recently diagnosed as neurodivergent, and I've been on a journey to understand what this means for me. In the process, I realized there's an opportunity to connect with others who share the same desire to learn more about being on the spectrum. So sit back and enjoy stories from my friends, my guests, myself, and the incredible journeys shared on these episodes. You'll hear about obstacles faced, victories achieved, struggles overcome, but most importantly, our passion for belonging and connection. We are wired differently, but thriving always. Reason to Believe is the reason we are proudly autistic. Now, welcome to the show. Hey everybody, it is your Neuro-Mixed Thursday because technical difficulties. Wait, was that Motley Crue now?
That was definitely Dr. Feelgood.
That was Dr. Feelgood.
Absolutely. We're just
oh shit, I'm gonna have
in that tent in the desert, just out there Mad Maxing it.
What was it? Southside Eddie D. That's all I got. Okay. Reason we're sitting here today is because it's Wednesday night. I'm just gonna fill you all in. So thank you for understanding that Wednesday's episode didn't come out. Oh, the 50 million of you that are subscribed and listening. No, for the beautiful people that are started off from the beginning, here you are. We love you, we appreciate you, and we know you're expecting the interview of Wednesday. But our buddy Rich Stone, Dick Stone over at Memoirs Coffee, he is up to bat. Like he's ready to go. It's our Fakakta pod track thing that I have that I record on. I'm able to record on here, obviously, because sitting with me is the wonderful. We are in what would we call this? Rigby Studios. Should we just call it Rigby Studios?
No.
Okay, we're not going to do that. But we are going to do a on the spot makeshift. Like usually I have an idea of what we're going to record. Let's go. But due to either bad connection, everything that we were doing on this pod track that we've done before. Rich and I have done it before last week, testing the audio and everything, and it worked wonderfully. And then it was working wonderfully earlier. And then all of a sudden, of course, when he gets on, it's getting choppy. So I am not going to leave y'all stranded because the brain won't let us do that. And I don't want that. So Casey's like, you can interview me. And I was like, why that look?
Well, because you were like, no.
It wasn't, no.
It's was, like, no one is even remotely interested in listening to you.
No, I know. Oh, wait, you're saying, I thought you meant that to me.
No, that's what you thought of me.
Okay, so.
I'm just kidding.
I know you are. Dumb. So a lot has been going on, and I'm just so tired. I'm so on edge. I'm not at ease. I'm not sleeping. There's a lot going on. And I know Casie has been tiptoeing and really kind of doing an amazing job on saying that there are health things going on. And I thank you all for being patient and understanding. And I have a lot on my mind. And it comes to a point where I think that's where this conversation is going to end up, is not just what Casey's going through, where my mind is going crazy, but it was upon my diagnosis, I think, is what we're going to do a little bit of talking about, of when I found out. And
yeah,
you said depression. You said depression.
I mean, yeah. So, I mean, full disclosure, I was scrolling on Instagram and ran into someone who, someone's page, whatever it's called. I don't know.
You shouldn't run on the internet. You'll get hurt.
Okay, thank you. Snow. Listen,
Informer.
oh God, no. Yeah, it's been a lot, man. It's been a long day. It's been a long day. But I was reading something from someone who was diagnosed as an adult, and like some of the things that that he said, that he's had to really learn or relearn. They just made me think of you. And the
now I
main
haven't
one,
looked at this, right? So like letting everybody
no.
know, I have not looked at this. I have really somewhat of an idea, and I'm not going to say I have no idea. I'm not going to bullshit anybody, but I kind of you were going to start to talk about it, yeah. And I
like,
said let's just put it, yeah.
Me just being like saving stuff,
sure,
for whatever knowledge I.
Okay. Yeah, but I know I didn't. I So okay. So, hold it down. Hit it. It's up to you.
Oh, okay.
You're excited. You keep looking down.
I'm not. So. I know. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I think the one thing that probably stood out the most, and I feel like I really saw you go through it. Like this person said internalized ableism is real, right? So he's basically said that when he was diagnosed, he was like, this is wrong. This can't be me.
I think when you asked me, when you asked me, that's why I laughed, because I'm like, it can't be me.
Yeah, well, probably, right?
Yeah.
You were like, this girl's crazy.
No, most fucking definitely you were crazy.
So this person's like,
and you still are.
And I'm proud. I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a Tuscan Raider, you're gonna hold that staff high and be like, crazy. Like that's you.
Oh, thank you. Anyways.
That's your snoring pattern. That's what it sounds.
Yeah. So this person was just talking about, like, he was super successful. He owned his own business. He's doing well in life. He's successful, like in every area that you can think of. And so he just said, success doesn't erase neurodivergence.
Okay, so let's.
And so, wait, one more thing. So he said that he had to unlearn so many harmful ideas about what autism looks like, and I really think that's what hits.
I knew you were gonna. When you said that, I was like, oh, well, shit, there it is. Yep.
Well,
so
there it is.
So 3 people. We won't do 5. 3 successful people, right, on the spectrum. We're gonna pick one in science, Albert Einstein.
Okay.
Right? I would be nervous to know how he would unlearn. Let's just even go into entrepreneur and having money and doing successful businesses that are not doing so successful right now, but someone like, well, I'll say, because it's on everybody's lips, Elon Musk.
No.
We're moving on. But then we're going to go into Academy Award winning actor that nobody really thinks about. And hands down, Academy Award winning actor for Hannibal Lecter. But you have Anthony Hopkins.
Oh,
Dan
man,
Aykroyd. Let's even think that way, right? A comedic actor.
Yeah, honestly, I thought you were going to go Henry Winkler.
Well, he's always in my heart as like my VIP. Let's kick it with Henry Winkler. And he is. And remember, everybody, that there's 2 people that my 2025 bucket list, 2 people by the end of the year that are going to be on this podcast. Ron Funches. Ron, I just need that laugh on this podcast soon. And
Ron is my favorite human being, other than you.
So we're going to talk about the length of a banana, of how, like, you unpeel it. Get on the internet right now and look up Ron Funches, and we're going to talk amongst ourselves while we all eat this banana, and then you're going to learn everything about Ron Funches. And when you get back to the episode, I'll be like, oh, you're back? Okay, good. now that you know everything about this beautiful man. If you've never seen the
He's
show
hilarious.
Maya Rudolph, what was the name of the show?
I don't know. I actually didn't. That's like the only thing I
Oh my
think I
God.
haven't watched with him.
Apple TV Plus, and it was a great first season.
Yeah, I don't know.
I loved it. And he was. I hear they put him more into it. But yeah, you'll know the voice when he has that. I love his voice. I love there's that high pitched like the. But then Henry Winkler, obviously, he will be our New Year's resolution. Okay, so these people, when they found out, Albert
Ron
Einstein never
Funches
found
is
out.
not
Well, I'm
on
saying these
the
people that I
spectrum.
already talked about. No,
Okay.
his son is. His son
His
is.
son is, yeah.
That's why I want him on the podcast.
Yeah, he's very open about
Yeah,
talking
yes.
about it. And some of his best stand-up is about his son and the things he does. And it's amazing, and I love it. And I know I'm like interrupting you, so I'm so sorry. But he talks about how hard it is raising a neurotypical child. After he's had, he's raised a son, and his son is like an adult now.
Yeah,
he's 18.
an adult. Yeah.
And his other one is, like maybe 6
Oh,
or
I don't know
something?
that. I don't know that.
But he's like, it's so different. And he's like, then raising a neurotypical child who wants to go be social, have people over, go do things, do, all of this other stuff. He's like, I'm not used to it. He's like, I'm going to have a hard time with it.
So in June, we're going to have a lot more parental voices on here. I've actually had a few people reach out to me this week alone. I'm actually like, hot damn diggity damn. So we're going to do that. So these people that we're touching base on, a lot of people would never expect it. And obviously, again, Albert Einstein cannot sit there and go, oh, wait, I was on the spectrum. I had no idea. It was just hot damn. But at the same time, I think you're right. I had anywhere from a record store at a very young age to doing really well in the film school, doing really well in the film industry, having alone as a trainer at Apple, and I held the most global awards for a trainer at Apple, which is insane to me, because not only did I take it from a retail store, I brought it into stuff I was doing at home working for them. Success has been something I've been very good at. I had another successful podcast before this. So yeah, I had no idea. And why? Why was it arrogance? Was it just not knowing? But at the same time, I just was like, no, I can't see me on the spectrum. I'm doing this. But it also probably goes back to our first Neuro-Mixed Monday on how also I think TV and media kind of skew the way we look at what autism is. So back to what you were saying with ableism. Yeah, I had no idea, and that was probably why. And fuck it. It goes back to what people say.
Also, I think it is a generational thing, right? You know what I mean?
Very good call.
So I do think, the generation, what's the generation like? Who's older than us? Are they boomers?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So whatever. But I think what their idea of autism, of neurodiversity, oh my goodness, I think it just looked like people who can't take care of themselves. I think it's just an entirely different thing. I mean, not to try and like bring up this jackass, but I mean, look at what RFK says. Like, never seen someone who, whatever, or
they
these
won't be
people
able
can't
to
wipe themselves. They can't write poems. They can't. They're
pay taxes.
They
all
are
the complete dipshittery that just poured out of his mouth.
They just fuck up their families. Whatever it is he was saying. So yeah, he says those things because he's an idiot, but also part of that is probably coming from, that it's a generational thing, right?
Yeah, I guarantee it. Yeah, honestly, and I took pride because let's go back to where even I think it was before even doing the test, the exam, or like whatever you want to call this that I took. I think even when I found out from who I was talking to who's going to set me up with the exam, when she mentioned it, I went, "Oh shit, like this is real."
Yeah.
Or because she said after maybe 6 months of us doing sessions together, maybe 5 months, she was like, "Brian, remember how when Casie said to you that you're probably on the spectrum and you laughed at her?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course." And I go, "Oh God, are you serious?" And she's like, "Brian, I think it's time we talk about that. I think Casie was 100% correct."
Who was this?
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth?
It was,
okay.
yeah, who shares the same last name as Henry.
Okay.
Winkler Rogers, but Winkler's in her name. But yeah, so Elizabeth did say.
And that's actually like a really crazy thing, right? Because she's not a psychologist.
No.
She's not a psychiatrist, right?
She was my nurse practitioner.
She's a nurse practitioner. She can just prescribe medication for you. So she's not even having like these lengthy, sessions with you or anything. I mean, I think the most time she would ever have spent with you would have been like 30 minutes. Max.
What was supposed to be 12 minutes.
It was. Yeah, I was we would spend like 10 minutes.
We would spend 30 minutes each time, because it was like, what are you and Casie doing now? Da 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 da. Here's where shit gets real when it comes to understanding my brain. Is that, yeah, I understand why people want to have longer conversations. Like, the first time I had my psychiatrist, Dr. Welch, where he's like, "Brian, these are going to be only like, 10-minute sessions, da 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 da." And it was just for medication. And I was like, fuck, I don't want to do any of that. But there was the second time we talked, and he's like, "I'm going to put you on this." And I was like, "Okay." And then he's like, "But I have a half hour. Do you mind if I talk to you more?" And that's where he introduced me to Tolle. What was his name? The author and self-help. God, I can't remember his first name, but it was Tolle, and it was great stuff. And then you started listening to his books.
Well, I'd already listened to
did.
one.
Yeah. When I said that, you're like, "Oh, Brian, you don't know who that is?" And I'll put that in the captioning or in the description of this, of when I write this out tonight, because you guys are going to get it in the morning, on Thursday morning. I will say what his name is. Oh my God, are you kidding? He's in my Fakakta Audible, so I'm just going to do that now.
Yeah, I mean, with everything going on, like my memory is
I'm hurting. I'm hurting.
So shot.
I'm so done with like even trying to. I'm done with trying to.
I don't know what your last name is.
Oh well.
I'm so sorry.
It's stupid. Okay, so I'm gonna go all the way down to my bottom because
you could probably
Eckhart Tolle.
I was gonna say, okay.
Eckhart Tolle, and I will put it again. I'm gonna, because you probably think it's like, oh, Eckart's like the.
No one thinks that, Brian. No one is thinking about Eckart's.
Like Kmart, Eckart's, and Walgreens.
What I'm trying to say to you is, I want to know when the last time anyone has ever stepped foot into an Eckart's.
Oh, well, no, that makes sense. But the last time I thought about Eckart's was last Tuesday.
Oh, jeez.
Because I was looking through all the photos I have.
Oh, God.
And they were
it's
in
like,
the
is it like
the Eckart's
print? Oh, I was going to say maybe it's stamped
envelopes
on the back. Okay.
No, they were in the Eckart's envelopes, because
Lord.
remember you'd bring them in, you get the 2-for-1 like prints of your photos.
I don't actually remember that. But
okay.
I remember
I
that envelope.
I used to go to Eckart's to get it. Okay, so back to this ableism, because I think that's what's also stopping people from getting diagnosed and stuff like that, because they're saying, I feel I have symptoms, but it can't be me.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I
still probably to this day would be that.
I
would be, obviously.
Like how that, feels exactly, so it's like something I can't, like, personally, like, speak on or whatever, but I definitely know what like I saw with you.
Yeah.
And it definitely, oh my gosh, when I first brought it up, like, legit, you laughed at me and like looked at me like I was crazy, and then just dropped that shit and it just wouldn't bring it up. And so I was like, okay, well, I've been offensive, and not meaning to, like, I was, legitimately asking,
Yeah, you
because
were.
I saw these things, and I just, to me, because it was so obvious, I was like, how has no one ever spoken to you about
Nobody.
this before?
Nobody.
Like, that's what really blew my mind. And so then I was like, okay. And then when you started talking to, I don't know, one of the therapists, you're like, oh no, I was diagnosed with ADHD. And then you're like, I remember that was what you would tell people a lot, like before you had the like
Actual,
ASD,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah. So, and you'd be like, oh, Casie thought that I was autistic, but no, really, it's just ADHD. And
What?
you would tell that to like your friends and different people, and I'd be like, what is happening?
Oh my God, I don't even remember any of this shit.
Oh my God, yes.
And I remember everything.
Oh,
What?
yeah.
Okay, okay. So then, here we go. Now that I know, that works overtime. Like, now that I know,
Yeah.
I catch myself so much. And I think that comes down to, we're now talking about the famous going out to eat kind of thing, where, yeah, I hate to say it, like, honestly, even when we're at, let's say, when we're recording, or like, there's just times where I can't fucking stop fidgeting. And I'm hoping Amber's going to be on this episode, is on this podcast next Wednesday for our interview, because we're recording next week. But she was ever the first one to ever, when I had that fidget spinner, just watching it go, go, go. And when she had it, and I was like, that's some funny shit, man. Everybody's got one, and she's doing it, and she seemed calmer. And then she's like, here, you could use it. And I started using it. I was like, oh no, I like this. This actually works.
Yeah, man, you're a fidgeter, like non-stop fidgeting.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I mean, I don't know. It's not something that, like, is bothersome. Does that make sense? Not to me. Like, you're not, it's like, there are a couple things, and it's just because I have, like, any type of clothing or like material like in someone's mouth, it freaks me out. I get goosebumps from it. It's just,
and I have to do it.
Gross. It's so gross. And yeah, you'll do that, and
I got the trophy. I'm first place.
Oh my God, man.
I hold it like a staff, like a Tuscan Raider.
Literally, I get like that weird, like sour, like sensation in my mouth. Like, I just,
No.
So there are like a couple things that I think, for me personally, that I'm like, this is too much for me, just because of whatever, reason I personally have. But like, your fidgeting isn't.
I mean, I'm doing it right now.
Yeah. I can't.
I'm holding
it. You're not.
No, but I'm biting my
chewing
lip.
on it.
I'm biting my lip, and I'm like, I'm like biting my nail. Like, yeah, I play with my facial hair.
You pull your facial hair. You twist your actual hair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, twist the
hoodie.
The hoodie.
I mean,
string
the string is so on all my hoodies.
It has it's 1 inch long, and it's completely twisted up, like 80s shoelaces. But
here's the thing, I don't want any. You're like, oh, we should get you new hoodies. I'm like, no, those are my comfort. Like, No, what's crazy is that,
babe, they have friggin' holes in them. Like,
comfortable.
But we can find some other comfortable ones. I mean, like, if they're not fitting, they're 100% faded. Like, you can't even tell what original color it was.
That's awesome. I love that shit.
And they have holes all in them.
Punk
and
rock as fuck.
Some of them have bleach on them. So
Yeah.
it's just like,
Well then,
Oh, babe,
I forgot
no.
why. Like, why was there? I remember I had to bleach something.
I
Okay,
don't know.
so yeah, for me now that I know, and what's crazy is that at first I stopped wanting to look around or like. I remember the day I decided, like, no, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to be true to myself. I was going in for jury duty. Do you remember the story with the and
Oh, the
the keychain?
keychain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I had my keychain in my pocket, and it's from a podcast that you should have been doing years ago, Murder for Breakfast. No one can take that because I have it. It's mine. No one can take that. And you made promo
Yeah,
material.
not safety tools, but
No, it's a safety
kind
tool.
of. I mean,
Yeah.
like I used to run all of the time, and also just being a woman,
Yeah.
So they're like little spikes. Like, so my tagline, like
For the
for that
podcast,
show
yeah.
for the podcast was "Don't get stolen," because because someone in my life would always say that to me. Like when I was older, like if I'd be like, I'm gonna sit in the car and wait, they'd be like, cool, don't get stolen. And so I'm like, dude, that's legitimately why you would have this, so you don't want to get kidnapped,
So yeah, technically,
it's a weapon.
It's a weapon. So I go to jury duty. I park in a parking garage. It took me 10 minutes to get to where I needed to fucking be, and I'm going through the, what do you call them? The TSA kind of whatever those machines are.
Yeah, they're gonna detect
Scanner.
like
Yeah.
metal. And
So I go in, I take everything out of my pockets, I put it in, I walk through, I'm good, and they say you can't bring this in.
yeah, I mean it has spikes on it.
So I think because the line was 80 people deep,
Oh, of course, you're at the courthouse.
and I could see the security guard and the police officer watching me. And I was really getting so uncomfortable, and the fidgeting was done, and I'm twirling my hoodie, but I'm also like tapping I remember just tapping, and I was like, oh my god, what the fuck is going
tapping?
on? Like my head or like
Were you really?
I swear I was so fucking overwhelmed.
I don't remember you telling me that.
Yeah, and I knew shit was gonna hit the fan somehow. I was like, I don't want to fucking be here. In the room upstairs when I finally got through. But the security guard, or the one who was checking everything, he was so shitty. And he's like, sorry, man, you're going to go take that to your car, or I'm going to throw it away. And I'm like, and what was the reason is that it was the first thing you ever gave me. So
Yeah,
you're not going to fucking throw it away. I was going to fight him. Fight him.
I think I mean, there have only been either 2 or 3 made. That's it.
Right.
So
And I still
don't
have
know
it.
if Osiris has
I
one.
still have it.
But we might be the only 2 people who have them.
Yeah. And so you're not taking that from me. I was being confiscated, basically, is what he said. And I was like, no. And I remember the police officer was like, hey, come here. And he pulls me aside. And he's like, you good? And I'm like, no. I'm like, I'm doing my Brian Quain.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's just you.
Yeah.
That's just how you sound.
Yeah, and I was like, no, not at all. Like this fucking guy. And I was getting so mad. And he goes, hey, okay. And he's like, just breathe. We're gonna get this. And he goes, tell me the story about it. I was like, so, Casie gave this to me. It's the first thing she ever gave me. I'm not, This is like my favorite thing. And I go, I usually just use it because it had the peg still on it, and I twirl that.
Yeah, they go through it. They go through your fingers.
Yeah.
It's like brass.
Yeah.
They're like brass knuckle
So
spikes.
it was basically like a fidget spinner to me. And so he could totally tell something was going on with me. My brain wasn't connecting too much. I was very much fidgeting. I was very much to the story.
Yeah.
I was not going to let it go.
I mean, when you're in that mode,
there's no change in my mind.
But also, it's it's undeniable to be like there. It's very obvious. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah. And so the dude was so nice enough that he walked me to where Lost and Found was, kind of thing. And they said they're going to hold it back here for you. So when you're done up there, you'll find your keychain. And he says, just it's a keychain. I go, yeah, it is. I
I
said,
mean,
what else is it going to be? Duh.
Keychain.
And I said that to him. I was like, whatever the hell,
It's
what
a-
else is it going to be? It's a keychain, even though it's a
weapon.
spear. Yeah, it's a.
It is a weapon keychain.
Well, I was going to freaking.
I think you told him it was a promotional item.
It's a promotional item, and he was like, okay, that's fine. And I said it was for your podcast. So, yes, I still have it, but he could tell right away that there was something going on with me where it was like, oh man, this guy.
Oh my God! Didn't you leave that on for like was it like a Magic game? Were we going to see the Knicks and Magic? And we realized it like halfway walking down the street, and there's like going back to the garage.
Yeah.
Was that it?
Yeah, we ditched it like behind a bush.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I still have it. I'm not going to lose
I
that
was
thing.
like, throw it behind a bush, and we'll come get it later.
And I did.
That's what you did when you
I
were
gave
younger and had to carry weapons.
No. I gave it to Kate Bush, and she said, if you've not watched the show Stranger Things, you won't get this joke because now 70 million people get this joke. No, look, Running Up That Hill is a great song. But she said, if you give it to me,
no idea what you're talking about.
You could Running Up That Hill, and then you'll get it later. So yeah, thank you, Kate Bush. No, I was a huge Kate Bush fan as a kid. I really was. I liked her.
I don't know. Is this a singer? Is this an actress? Who is this?
Yeah, Kate Bush is. Yeah, she was a '80s female musician. Yeah, singer. So,
Okay.
Yeah, she was famous for the song "Running Up That Hill." Running Up the Hill. That I would say maybe Placebo made famous. There is a band that did make it famous.
Do not know that. I think
her version is
the
Unreal?
Iron Maiden version.
Really?
No. What's the Iron Maiden song?
Breaking the Law.
Get out. Stop
Run
it.
for the Hills.
Yeah, isn't that it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You knew what I was talking about.
Well, you got another thing coming if you bring them up again.
God.
All right, y'all.
Stop.
So again, deep down inside, I hope everybody does, if you're listening to this and you do feel like, man, and this might be newly diagnosed or just if your whole life you're tired. I get it. I am too, 100%. Like it is a lot. It is a lot to constantly fidget in your brain, fidget on your body, fidget. It is a lot to overthink. It is a lot to always be thinking. It's a lot. It is a lot, and I'm not used to it. I know I'm not going to get used to it. And now that I know what the fuck is going on, it's a lot.
Yeah, I think it's in some aspects worse. You know, I mean, the like going out to eat thing. Like, I didn't realize that.
It slapped me in the face now that
what was happening.
It's hindered us going out now.
Yeah,
it has.
Yeah, and
it
that
has.
like makes me so sad because that's like one of the things that I love. Well, my God, I am patient.
Oh, okay.
No, but
I'm glad you see it that way.
You did.
No, when we did,
we
did go out, and I was okay. I don't remember where did we go. Oh, the Pinery. We were good. Yeah. Oh yeah, because we met Damien, our waiter, who started following. So I want to say hi to him. He's freaking rad. So thank you, buddy.
Oh yeah, I loved him. He was great.
Awesome. Yeah. So if you're in Orlando, Pinery, ask for Damien. He's great dude. Okay. I'm just going to give 1 minute of my time. That's kind of what I was starting just to say. If you do feel at any point, man, not that you don't fit in, but now that you know and things are, you're not fitting into yourself. Okay. Like it doesn't have to be with your loved one, your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your aunt, your coworkers, anybody, your freaking neighbor. If you're not feeling fit to yourself, email us. Email me, please. reasontopodcast@gmail.com. You know where we are in the socials. And I'm going to be honest, if you feel that you're neurotypical and you need to talk to even Casie, email us there as well. And just in the subject, be like, for Casie, you know, my loved one, my brother, I'm neurotypical, but this is somebody on the spectrum. I want to make them feel more at ease. We need that. So it's a lot. So please, and Casie is spelled Casie, as you all see when in our descriptions and everything like that. It's I don't want to feel like we're going to the doctors and like Casie, but so yes, it's
Oh, that's just
Casie.
been my whole life,
I know
babe.
it has.
I just, it is what it is.
Well, it's okay. Every time someone emails me and it's like, Mr. Brain Quain, so I understand. All right, y'all. I want to thank you for taking the time and always listening and to understand that, we are wired differently, but we're always thriving. And we love you for it. So, as always, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I think that,
Whoa.
and this is just going to sound really trite, but like it does get like a little bit easier, right? After being diagnosed, because you went through such an obvious depression, and there was just you were completely, you were very different. And then, like, a few months would go by, and I think there was a little bit more of like accepting or realizations, like, I have always done this and it doesn't mean anything different.
Okay.
So I think, like, if people understand, like, you might be depressed for a little while, you might, it,
Well,
things
here's the
will
thing.
get a little bit easier.
I think
but
you have every right to be a little depressed because you're finding
yeah,
out
you're finding out
the person that you've been your whole life might be a little bit more different than you thought, and you have to start. I understand now maybe why puzzle pieces are used as an autistic like logo and stuff like that, because to quote the Lemonheads really well, even though this is a song about Allison, the puzzle piece behind the couch that makes this guy complete. Well, I didn't realize I had a bunch of puzzle pieces missing, and at this point, there's still some missing, but I'm trying to make myself complete. And I hate these puzzle pieces. I hate it. I still hate it. But at the same time, if it wasn't for all y'all and doing this makes it easier. This makes it. And honestly, maybe I am masking it and using the podcast as a reason, but it's also.
Well, you're also way more vulnerable and honest about things,
I 100%
and
am.
that has just started within the past, like, few months.
I know. Let's be honest.
It's very, very recent, and it's so amazing. It is truly amazing to know a reason behind why something is happening, or what you're thinking, or like, oh, I don't want to go to dinner, I don't want to do this, and to me, I'm just like, oh, okay, is it like me or whatever? But you going, I'm paying way more attention to how many times I have to look at the TV, how many times I have to count commercials, how I need to look at everything going on around me, how I'm, and I had no idea. So then for me, I'm like, okay, I get it, and I can be supportive. So I think, like, you're always making progress, and just that vulnerability is really beautiful.
Yeah, well, thank you. I'm trying. Also, someone who's putting themselves out there and vulnerable and doing an amazing job, doing something beautiful. I'm not saying that I do that. May 14th, we're going to leave it with this, because people are like, I like the name Reason to Believe. And some of you do know where the name of this podcast comes from. So I'm going to kind of, in a gist, maybe a minute and a half. On May 14th, this beautiful man was in Manchester, England. Sat at the end of the stage of his first night of a European tour. His name is Bruce Springsteen. And he sat on the edge of the stage before he did a song called, I want to say it was Land of Hope and Dreams. And he opened with that. And if you know that song, fuck right. He explained what's going on with this country that we live in. Thank you for anybody overseas or around the world that's listening. He said some things about what's going on right now. And that deals with a lot of things that a lot of us that are neurodivergent, neurospicy, we've got the tisms going. And so I want to thank Bruce for that. And then later on the 17th, he did it again for not the same introduction, but he kind of did a whole other version of it. and he did My City in Ruins, which is off the Rising album. I want to thank y'all for pushing it, because I think that man's on the spectrum. I love you, Bruce. But at the same time, he's standing very strong for all of us. And he wrote a song that's the last song off the 1982 record album, Nebraska, and the song is called Reason to Believe. And the reason why I named this podcast Reason to Believe is because it was the night before the election. And I don't know why I put on Nebraska, because it's so fucking haunting. It's such a scary record. It's a 4-track, a very much depressed Bruce Springsteen looking to kill himself, basically, if you will. There's a movie coming out very, 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 very soon about the biography on it. But the song Reason to Believe was the last track on the record, and it came on, and I said, this is it. So everything that's going on right now, I have to say thank you to him. Thank you to everybody who's downloaded the song that came out today, showing that we take care of our own. Another song that Bruce Springsteen wrote. I love y'all. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Casie.
Thank you, Brian. I don't know. Was I supposed to say it back?
Oh, Jesus Christ. I love y'all. So thank you. Again, find us on the socials, Reason2Podcast. You'll find us. Email us, reason2podcast@gmail.com. And if you need anything else, don't hesitate. Tell us how you're doing. Again, we will have an episode with Rich extremely soon. Hopefully it's tomorrow. And then I can't wait. It sounds like my buddy Amber's coming on, so I can't wait to have her on. Thank you, and we will see you very, very, very soon. All right. Bye.
Bye.